You found a landowner who wants to sell their property. Great. But now you're stuck with the big question. How much should you offer? What if you offer too much and lose money? Or what if you offer too little and the seller walks away? Or what if you have no idea what the land is actually worth? This is where most new land flippers get stuck, but here's the good news. You don't need to be a real estate expert to analyze land deals. You just need a simple method to figure out what land is worth and how much you should offer. Today, I'll walk you through 3 simple steps to confidently analyze land deals, even if you have zero experience. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly where to find land values, what to look for, and how to make offers with confidence. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Only LandFan's Launchpad series. I'm Kendall, and this is the podcast that shows you exactly how to flip land without ever buying it. If you've ever struggled with figuring out how much land is worth or what to offer, this episode is for you. Today, I'll break down how to analyze land deals the simple way without needing to be a real estate expert. Let's dive in. So this is how to analyze land deals in 3 simple steps. The first step is check what similar properties have actually sold for. The easiest way to figure out what a piece of land is worth is by looking at what similar properties have sold for. These are called comps, short for comparables. And here's how to do it. First, go to sites like Realtor.com, Zillow, LandWatch, or Redfin. These are all free sites. Next, search for similar properties sold in the last 1 to 3 months. Next, make sure they are in the same area and have a similar size and features. Here's a quick tip. If you can't find recent sales, check active listings, but assume the real value is likely 10 to 20% less than the listing price. So for example, let's say you're looking at a 5-acre property in a rural area, but you can't find any sales. You can check Zillow and see that similar lots are listed between $20,000 and $25,000. Based on that, a safe estimate is that the actual sale price could be between $15,000 and $20,000. This is not a hard and fast rule. It's just a nice rule of thumb to kind of go by if you don't have enough comps. I like to look for anywhere between 3 to 5 sold comps in the last 1 to 3 months. Do you want a step-by-step breakdown of how to pull comps? You can join my free Facebook group at onlylandfansgroup.com, where I break this down in detail. The second step is consider the property's features and restrictions. Not all land is created equal. 2 5-acre properties in the exact same town can be worth completely different amounts based on their features and restrictions. So here's what to check. First is access. Is there a clear driveway or is it landlocked, meaning there's no road to the actual property? Next is utilities. Is there nearby access to water, electricity, or septic? Next is zoning. Can this land be built on, and are there restrictions? Next is flood zones. Is it in a high-risk flood area? Here's another quick tip. If a piece of land can't be built on, it's usually worth significantly less. So always check the zoning laws before making an offer. So here's a hypothetical example. Let's say you find 2 10-acre properties in the same area. One has direct road access and the other is landlocked, meaning you can't legally get to it without crossing someone else's land. The landlocked property could be worth far less even if the size is the same. That's not always a deal killer because some people want to hunt on the property or sometimes people want to just put some cows on the property and they don't actually need road access. So you have to kind of take those with a grain of salt. However, that's typically a really good rule of thumb when you're first starting out is try to avoid those landlocked properties. The third step is use the 3 offer method to make a smart offer. Okay, now that you know what the land is worth, how much should you offer? Here's a simple 3-step pricing strategy to stay profitable. I always like to figure out 3 offers. That way, when I'm talking to the seller, I can let the seller guide me into which offer I'm going to present based on what the seller actually needs. So my first offer 1, is going to be 40 to 50% of market value with a 30-day close. Offer 2 is going to be 50 to 60% of market value with a 60-day close. And offer 3 is going to be 60 to 70% of market value with a 90-day close. Notice the higher the price, the longer my close date is because I'm going to need that time to be able to find a buyer. Here's a quick tip. If a seller wants way more than the max offer, just let them know that you can close quickly, cover closing costs, and make the process super easy for them. Usually whenever people ask for a lot of money, it's because they think that the property is worth way more than it's worth, or they may think that you're trying to lowball them on the property. But usually whenever you point out your actual process and what you're doing and how you're helping them, they usually will come down on the price. If you've ever felt stuck trying to figure out what land is worth, I hope this episode gave you a clear strategy. Inside my Only Land Fans Facebook group, you'll get weekly tips and strategies to make land flipping easier, direct access to ask me questions, and a community of land flippers who are learning together. Just go to onlylandfansgroup.com and join for free. And hey, if this episode helped you, do me a favor. Subscribe to the show, leave a quick review, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. All right, before I go, let me tell you what's coming next. You figured out what a piece of land is worth, but now how do you get a seller to say yes to your offer? How do you convince them to sell at your price? How do you handle objections when they want more? And how do you make sure you're getting a great deal without scaring them off? In the next episode, I'll show you exactly how to negotiate land deals like a pro without feeling salesy. If you want to learn how to get more offers accepted, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss it. See you next time, and until then, stay dirty.